Okay, great. Welcome everybody to this webinar that you joined in to hear more about this program, the Master in Sustainable Management and Social Impact from ESSCA in France. Before we go over to the presenters, I'd like to briefly explain some interactive options you have. My name is Luc Mulling, and we have, first of all, the option to chat where you're logging in from. I already saw some people doing that, so that's great to see. Second of all, you can write your questions at any time through the panel called questions right next to it. So do it there, please, so we can make sure we don't miss out on any questions. And we will be answering the questions at the end of the session. Also, I opened up a polling question already to get to know you a little bit more. In this case, we would like to see what you find important in selecting a university program, but I will open up some more questions throughout the session. And last but not least, we have a little fun button. Also at the bottom of the screen, you can see a button called React. So that's one I will enable and allow you to react as well with the presenters. And that way to make it a little bit more fun and engaging, basically, for everyone. All right, so there we go. Exactly. Now we're talking about the presenters. Let's go over to them. I'll go over to Gabriel. That's the professor of this program, Gabriel Weber. He will introduce himself and the rest of the presentation.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Glad that you meet us from the UK and from Spain and from wherever you are. So this is the purpose of this session is to present you ESSCA and our Master of Science in Sustainable Management and Social Impact. So so as you are, or as candidate are always interested also in testimonials, experience from other students. So we have 3 ESSCA alumni today with us. It is Anton Gilbol. He is now CSR manager in Arte Television, a French-German television chain that I adore. That's basically the only one that I'm looking. And we also have Anton Deforge, who kindly joined us today. He is a ESG analyst. Very interesting because we are focusing recently very strongly on ESG. He worked in AT Finance and is just taking a new position now at Tikio Capital in the field of CLOs. And he will be based in Paris and also in London. And finally, we have Corinne, who also did a master in sustainability at ESSCA, and she is working also as a sustainability consultant. So we have found we have 3 alumni that are all working in the field that we are proposing. Shows the importance of sustainability and education in the field of sustainable management and social impact. So before I provide you with more details about the master, I briefly introduce myself. I'm a professor originally from Germany. I did a PhD thesis in ESG, sustainable finance. Later, I worked as a postdoc in Barcelona. Then I did a HDR, so I'm a director of research now and can supervise doctoral thesis. I've published in various journals, Ecological Economics and others. And I'm also the director of the Sustainable Management Master at ESSCA. Okay, that's from me for now. So I will let the three students present themselves, the three alumni. Yes, I had them all in class, so that's why I have them also in very good memory as students, now alumni, of course. So maybe starting with Antoine Gilbol, if you talk a little bit about your experience at ESSCA and yes, job possibilities after studying sustainability and your current position, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hi everyone. So as Professor Weber told, I'm Antoine. I work as a CSR project manager for Arte, so Franco-German TV channel. I was a student of ESSCA until 2022, so I was part of the first promotion, I believe, of this master, which was at the time called International and Sustainable Management, but it is essentially the same. So I've seen a few changes in the classes offered, and I think they are very suited to the current atmosphere of the market. My experience at ESSCA was very, very positive. I love my time there, both between the student life and the classes offered. I think they're very professionalizing, but I also want to warn everyone that in the field of sustainability, you have to keep updated with regulations, the current laws, the current studies about, well, anything from the IPCC to other bodies of regulation. So I think that's the most important part about working in sustainability. But otherwise, it was a very, very positive experience. As to what you can do after this master, it's very diverse, but I think you'll find what you want. But from the people in my promotion, it's very diverse. It goes from really auditing companies that are pretending to be sustainable and checking if their claims are actually true, to managing the policy, the sustainable policy of a company like I do, which is, I find, a very rewarding job because you have the opportunity to really follow a project through from the beginning to end and see the difficulties that there is to implement it, because it's always a little bit complicated to drive change in an organization. So I have to admit that Arte, for those who know, has been engaged in environmental and social topics for 30 years, for 35 years, even since it was created. So it's not the hardest company to get to change, but it's, I mean, my tasks are very diverse, so I take a lot of enjoyment from my work. I manage from the carbon footprint of the company to how we can pollute less while producing our content, and never forgetting the creativity aspect of our business, because it's what we do. We're not gonna close shop tomorrow. From managing social issues like diversity on the screen, which is a big issue for every French and European television, to make sure that we correctly represent the European society on screen. And it goes evidently to the reporting, the environmental reporting. I'm sure many of you have heard that the European Commission is doing a lot of work on the sustainable framework, legal framework. So it's a huge subject, and I invite you to all get familiarized with the norms that the European Union promotes, because it's in the end what decides of the sustainable policies of many companies. I don't know if you have questions.
I can start with a question, if that's allowed. Yes, Antoine, thank you so much for this overview. If I can ask, in art, I know it's a publicly owned company. You know, there was the CSRD, regulation of sustainability reporting. It has now, with the omnibus proposals, reduced to only bigger companies that have to report and only on less issues. But as a publicly owned company, have you been concerned of this regulation? And you were speaking about the carbon footprint. So I would be interested in which part of your reporting is mandatory and which part you are doing because you are sustainable and you want to be proactive.
No, it's a great question, and once again, everything when you speak about Arte, everything is a little bit different to other TV channels, either in France or in Europe. But Arte, we were subjected, we still are subjected to the CSRD because the French law applies as it is. So right now we're still subjected to the matter, and we've done all the work, the double materiality analysis, the gap analysis. Everything has been done, so we are on track to produce our first sustainability report for 2025. And we've taken the position as a company to keep going no matter what the European Commission decides, even though, according to the new to the Omnibus Pact, so the new change in regulation proposed by the Commission, we should get out of the scope of the law. Regarding carbon footprint, we were never and have never been forced to even realize one, but we just finished our second one. We still have a bit of differentiation between other companies because we are working on our transition trajectory, and it's not ready. And if we were subjected to the law, it would have been ready a few years ago. But we are doing everything voluntarily, so it's also a comfortable aspect of my job. I know I'm not going to be affected too much by the new law because Arte is a responsible company.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. I have many more questions. No, like in our timeline, we have 1 or 2 minutes, so maybe somebody else.
Yeah, there is a question from Sophia de la Flor.
Okay. Okay, Sophia.
Yeah, I think Antoine was referring to the question written there, but I will be answering the questions in the Q&A at the end. So go ahead.
Okay, so then my last question, if nobody else wants to raise a question. Thank you, Antoine. And all this work is done by you? Yeah, like the reporting, carbon footprint, or is it that you have a team? How do you think about that? And maybe in general, what do you think about future job possibilities for like, do you think that CSRD and the increasing legislation, even though we have a small backlash at the time, will lead to more jobs in the field of sustainability?
To take your question in order, yes, I think there is still a lot of future in sustainability for the simple reason that even though there is a current backlash, we've all seen it, we've all felt it. It's just temporary because climate change is here. It's already doing damages. Everybody can see it. And the people in Arte's case, which is a publicly held company, we are financed by the government. I just finished answering some questionnaires they send us every year to judge of how far we are going in our sustainability endeavor, and they are still asking about it. And it's the same for private investors. People care about this kind of subject, and it's not because there is some clown in the White House that is going to change for the next 30 years, if we're honest. As to the team in Arte, you have to be aware, and very few people are, that Arte is actually 3 companies. There is one in Paris, one in Strasbourg, and one in Baden-Baden in Germany. So there is a CSR team. We are in Strasbourg. There are two. In Germany, there are one, and I'm also alone in Paris. But we use a lot of resources from the company, either from the people who work here, and we are all very aware of the environmental change. So it's really it's a small team. I know, but we are not that much of a big company.
Okay.
So it's plenty enough.
Okay, I can see. Thank you so much, Antoine, to hear from you. Yes, so we have spoken over the years, and it's great to see how things evolve. So I hope to see you very soon, maybe in class in the other one or other forum. Let's talk about that later on. So thank you so much, Antoine Ribol. I go to Antoine Deforges. So yes, same questions to you. Your experience at ESSCA, job possibilities, your last and current position. What is the role of sustainability? Thank you so much for coming, Antoine.
Thank you so much for the invitation. So yes, my name is Antoine Deforges. I'm a French citizen. I have done the master degree International and Sustainable Management that changed a bit its name in the last year. I have done this semester 1 year after Antoine that just presented his story before me. Following this master, I have joined DG Finance as an ESG analyst. I have worked there for 1 year, and now I'm changing my position. I'm joining TKO Capital, which is an investment manager firm, as an ESG analyst also. My experience at ESSCA was very good. I really liked my 5 years, because I did 5 years at ESSCA. I really liked also my 2 years in this master, as I had the possibility to do a double degree. I had the possibility to meet people around the world, to discover about new cultures. I had the possibility also to learn a lot about sustainability, which is the main thematic in this master. Learn about sustainability in different manners and about different subjects, such as the value chain, the sustainable finance, sustainable human resources, sustainable resources, natural resources, and sustainable regulations. So it's a very, when I was there, it was a very general, I would say, master in sustainability. We could understand how sustainability was implying and affecting different subjects. So it helped a lot of people from my promotion to find jobs in different sectors. You could find job in luxury, so to do sustainability in luxury. You could find job in finance, to do sustainability in finance. You could find job in human resources, also in marketing, to do some CSR and communication about that. So as it's a general and not a specific master, it was very interesting, and it could open a lot of doors for us. So this is for me the good aspect of this master. Yes, I also met a lot of people from different countries. We were mainly, of course, speaking English, but you could learn more about the cultures. You could share also the beautiful experience in the city of Paris. That is really nice also for studies. And yet you have right now a really good market on sustainability, even with the current backlash from the Americans on this subject. But you still have a very good market that is pushing up in most of the regions, Asia, South America, Europe, Oceania, almost everywhere except America, for instance. But yes, and it's also, if you have this feeling inside you that you want to let a positive mark with your job on the planet, that you want to create, like that you want by your job to let something a bit more positive. I think this master is the best, because I was and I'm still driven by this feeling, that I want through my job to let something a bit positive and to not like just create chaos or just sell useless products or just create useless marketing advertisements or things like this. I think this is the best master to do. And yes, right now I'm joining TQ Capital in London, and I'm going to work with this investment manager to analyze the investment that they are doing in order to create reports and to know if the investments are sustainable or not. So all of this is also linked to all the sustainable regulations that are being created by the European Commissions, such as the SFDR, CSRD, the EU taxonomy, and many more. Many more. So yeah, there is a whole environment that is creating around that, all regulation environment. There is also the societal factors that are pushing to create more jobs on sustainability. So yeah, if you feel like you want to let a positive mark on the planet, I think that's a good master to do. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate right now, or I will let also my LinkedIn profile, so you can contact me directly. And if you have any questions or if about the master or about anything else on sustainability, don't hesitate to contact me. I will be very happy to share any information with you.
Thank you so much, Antoine, also for being very much on time, so we can have some questions and be still on time. I don't see any questions in the chat, so please ask your questions. Anything you want to know from Antoine? So if not, I can start. Yes, very impressive what you are saying. Thank you so much. Especially to let a good mark, footprint now on the planet, to do something positive. I think that's something important. Now we also have students, even though I'm not generalizing now, but we have also master students, I don't know, in their 30s and so on, that have worked 5 or 10 years for a multinational, and they decide, okay, let's maybe I really want to do something a bit more positive, and because that motivation is sometimes not so strong, or at least in my case when you're 18, but it comes a bit later. It often comes that it's also important you're going every day to your job, no, and to have the motivation to have a positive impact and so on. No, I totally agree, and so I always admired your strong linkage to finance, Antoine, and what you're doing. So my question is a little bit, with Paris, is it the final capital of Europe now, or is it at least the green finance capital? So you are in between Paris and London. Can you comment a little bit on that?
Yes, of course. So London is always a bit ahead in finance, historically. Paris is trying to catch up on that. So, for example, in terms of stocks and shares, Paris is becoming the leader in terms of transactions. You have also major banks in Paris, major investment asset managers in Paris also, in private equity or in listed companies. So yeah, in historical finance, I would say London is ahead, but in sustainable finance, Paris and overall the European market, excluding London, is ahead. Why? Because we have the European Commission that is pushing a lot on those thematics. You have, for example, green ETF, which is a green index that helps small investors like us to invest in green companies. And they are being pushed in Europe more than in the London markets. So I will say there is a better ecosystem in Paris on sustainable finance, and you will find more jobs also in Paris on sustainable finance. As an example, I'm joining a French company and not an English company in London to work on sustainable finance. I know that some asset managers in London are recruiting, but it's still less than the ones in Paris, in Frankfurt, in Amsterdam, also in Milan. So yeah, I would say continental Europe is a better place to work in sustainable finance. But if you want to work in regular finance, London is better.
Okay, so I hope the students will work in green finance after finishing, but okay, that's obviously up to them. So any question? Maybe a last point from my side, Antoine. So I also realized, you shared it also with me, that you have provided other student colleagues with jobs now in ET Finance. That's also something I think that speaks also a little bit with the cohesion that we have in groups, or that the teamwork, and also that ESSCA is, let's say, it's a lifelong decision, and in that sense, no, and people feel very attached to the values of ESSCA. And I found it. I don't think it's common in every business school that students help each other so strongly. And then yes, I appreciate that you provided other student colleagues with job opportunities. And yes, I hope with internships and so on that we stay in contact. Yes. You come to the classroom or something like that, and yes, with your expert knowledge, and it's also maybe important and useful to just to help others to get some new ideas where to send their CVs and where to start their job life. Okay, thank you so much, Antoine.
You're welcome. I just want to add, yes, ESSCA is good for that because you have like how is it called? You have a website only for alumni, so you can contact them and ask them questions about the jobs, ask them if they can help you to find internships, etc. And usually they reply to you. So it's pretty nice on that.
Okay, Antoine. So I also I see you in my class. Any other occasion? Good luck for the new job and in Paris and in London. And I yes, I hope you will tell us a little bit more about your new position in a couple of months. Take care, Antoine. Thank you so much.
Thank you. If you want to send me any message, I've shared my LinkedIn for the people here. So yeah. You can contact me directly, don't hesitate.
Thank you. Maybe we can take one question actually from the audience, because most of them are related to the requirements that are still, I think, being presented. But a question from Han just came in. If the students find their job themselves or ESSCA helped? Maybe the students can, or Gabrielle, you can say something about this?
Well, of course, we are helping. No, this was an example here of Antoine now, or our network. So maybe there are two things that the candidates have to have in mind. So there is the the internship now, which can be done. No, it's by the students, and we help them. We have contacts now. We have, as Antoine was mentioning, we have an alumni network where all students can contact them and to find an internship. We also have about, I'd say, 20 professors in the program now. So some courses are shared, so that we have 20 professors. They work in companies like Total Group, so the big French oil and gas multinational, the European Banking Federation, also in finance, like the United Nations Principle of Responsible Investment. We have one professor who's working for the European Commission. So the professors are also able to help with internships. And then later in the job market, yes, so you can rely on the ESSCA network. No, we share job advertisements with you. We also have career center where there are job advertisement, there are alumni where you can get in contact with them. And we have an extremely high employability. So 95% of the students, they find a job immediately. And I know it from the current cohort, they're about to finish the master. Some of them have already signed job contracts. Most have found an internship easily with and even without French knowledge in French language. So to answer your question, yes, so ESSCA is helping students just with his broad alumni network, with also his image as a triple crown, one of the best business schools in Europe. So that helps a lot. In France, everybody knows ESSCA internationally through the Triple Crown accreditation. It's also a very recognized school. Okay, so another question, Luke?
No, we'll take them at the end. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So then, Corinne, thank you so much for joining our webinar. You just came back from France from our ceremony of last year's student that finished last year. So you're the most recent alumni of ESSCA, of the group that is presenting today. So, and also, so yes, you had a 15 hours flight, but still you took the time. So the floor is yours. Thank you so much to present a little bit about your experience at ESSCA and what you're currently doing.
Okay, thank you, Professor, for having me here. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Jiaxin. You can call me Corinne. And I was the actually I just attended the graduation ceremony, but in fact the time when I was at ESSCA was 2022 to 2023. But due to because I was in a double degree program as well, so I received my diploma this year. Okay, so I was also in the Paris campus, and I was in the double degree program. I was originally from a National San Yat-sen University in Taiwan. Yeah, forget to talk about that. I'm from Taiwan, and so I think my degree it was master in sustainable management. Without right now you have like social impact, which is very interesting too, and yeah. So as a foreigner, I think I can provide some foreigner perspective into like in this webinar too. I saw many like international students in the chats. That's very nice. I highly recommend that you can go to ESSCA to start your journey with this program, because right now, as the professor said, I'm right now I'm a sustainability consultant who focus on the decarbonization programs for the companies. And so I want to talk about like the courses at the ESSCA. I saw some people, they asked about how many courses did I took in this program, but as for mine, I took 33 credits in total for 1 year at Paris campus, including the French lessons. It's mandatory for the French lessons. But actually, I really enjoyed the lessons. It was very, very interesting, I would say. Okay, so about the courses, I found it very like helping me that it's because I'm from Taiwan, and for the sustainability topics issue actually is still quite it's still developing like in Taiwan in these few years. So we don't have many sustainability masters or schools here. So I was lucky that I was able to be in this program as a double degree student. And also like about the courses, I found it very useful is also that the schools, they organize like a business visit, and I was able to go to Schneider, the headquarters, too, to have like a 1 day, like a 1 day business visit with the classmates and the professors. So I would say because as I said, it's like still developing topics and issue and field in Taiwan or in Asia. So it did like give me an entry ticket to find like a job in Taiwan. Like very, I would say not that hard to find a job here, because company they really need someone they want to can, like when you're on board you can start to do some practical things, like for example you can give some strategies to the decarbonization strategy to the company. But as a freshman, of course, I just left my school, so I cannot provide too many practical or experience suggestions. But this master did give me some, like as I said, the entering ticket that my company will be able, they want to invest some time and the resources on me because they know I have some basic knowledge, and they don't like they can like perhaps they can make me like I can be more into this job more quickly as they believed. So so right now for my job, I already started my job for actually 1 year already after leaving ESSCA. So I'm doing like because in Taiwan is a high tech industry country. I would say we produce over, for example, the semiconductor.
Okay, I think Corinne just, yeah, she's still there. Okay,
You're back.
Sorry.
You're back.
we just lost you for a second.
Yeah, sorry. I just talk about my internet. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I continue. So we produce like chips and like over 60% of the world in the world. So our semiconductors, the industry, they really need some decarbonization strategy. So my main job, all my clients, they are from semiconductor companies, and I assist them like to join the SBTI, or I do the inventory, carbon emission inventory for them, like according to GHG protocol, and also I give them advices for the decarbonization on scope-free emissions. Yes, and it was also like inspired my stay at ESSCA, because some of my classmates, they do, after they graduated, they do some startup. And so I'm currently doing some side project about like my own startup. It's also about like sustainability career community in Taiwan, which is very interesting. And one few things I want to mention is like I see some people mention about the scholarship. Actually, I am also like I received a scholarship from the French government. They sponsored me to have to study at ESSCA too. It's called France Excellent Scholarship. So I think it's quite package is quite nice. If you are interested in it, you can Google it, and maybe in your own country you can apply for it too. Yes. So I think my sharing like stuff from here.
Thank you, Corinne. Thank you so much. Are there any questions?
I think Corinne has been taking most questions already that she was touching upon, and some of the others we will take at the end after the emission requirements.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Good. So then I go ahead. Yes, I go ahead. Also see that. Yes, Corinne, maybe she will be later. Maybe hopefully be later available for one of the other questions, even though it's quite late already in Taiwan. So I go on a little bit with the this, and thank you, of course, so much, Corinne, for that. For that very clear presentation and interesting, useful for the people that are joining us from outside of France. Okay, so I go on now with presenting the master in a bit more detail. So yes, now as Corina mentioned also, no, we are the first program that is dealing with sustainable policies, but also with impact assessment, no, to have an impact, no. Antoine was speaking about the footprint or the mark that we leave in our life and so on. Now here it goes also, yes, so what is the impact of sustainable policies? The impact of, yes, sustainable firm, or if a firm acts sustainable in the one or other way. And yes, and this is linked to ESG reporting. No, ESG, environmental social governance. Earlier, the term was corporate social responsibility, and some, yes, I think Antoine in Arte, he's still called a CSR manager, so both terms exist. While in ESG, it's a little bit, the finance part is more strongly pronounced. It's also a bit more quantitative in terms of assessing the numbers of environmental performance, like CO2 emissions, for example, or waste or water use and so on, social, employee, gender aspects, and also governance aspects, and quantitative also in the sense that are related to financial markets, to green funds, green asset management, and so on. Good. And we will have 2 courses that are only dealing with ESG. One in the first semester on ESG policies and regulations. There you learn the European policies, the European Commission, like as Antoine said, CSRD, SFDR, the EU taxonomy. We also look a little bit in other countries like Japan or India, the UK, the US, and related legislation, but it is that the European policies are, let's say, leading in terms of sustainability and sustainability reporting. In many countries, China and others, are looking what we are doing. That's also very important now, because there's a little backlash also from the European Commission, the omnibus proposals, which reduces a little bit the reporting requirements of companies, but still, they're still there for large companies, and it's important to keep that in our eyes, because the world is following what Europe is doing in terms of sustainability. Good. So we have seen 3 people that are 3 former students that work in the field of sustainability now. So you will learn all the tools, instruments, policies, regulations that are needed to get a position and stay in the field of sustainability. Here's how it works. So yes, we take students from the first year onwards. It can also be, you can also start in the 4th year. And finally, the Master of Science at the 5th year for the students that have been studying at ESSCA, and that's also, let's say, the double degree that we were speaking about. Now, the double degree is for students that have been joined us earlier and having the normal ESSCA, Programme Grande École, Master in Management, and also the Master of Science in Sustainable Management and Social Impact. Now, and that will also be, of course, if you join us in the 5th year, will be just the Master of Sustainable Management and Social Impact. My colleague Ali is the expert and can also help you if you have questions to that. So that's the semester 9 and 10. So I said that 1 and 2. So if you just consider the 5th year, it's 1 and 2. But for, like, if you count all the studies, it's the semester 9 and 10. And then you have also an internship, which the students, the current cohort, is starting in April. Their 4 to 6 months internship. That is a good step to, let's say, get your feet in a company, to work in France. So we have very good experience with the internship, and many students are, let's say, they stay in the place where they do their internship. So here in more detail, you have the courses that we offer in semester 9 and 10. I was speaking already about the courses on ESG. You also have other courses here, sustainability and global challenges, maybe a bit more introductory course, but also climate change, resource management, and corporate governance, sustainable operations management, social innovation and transformation. Yes, so the social innovation and transformation course is also dealing strong with the part of social impact, the second part of our master. Yes, I can highlight some of these courses now. For example, sustainable operations management. I don't know how deep you are from management. No, so the supply chain is studied there. No, if you are, I don't know, a manufacturer of semiconductors or Apple or car maker from Germany. So all your supply chain, how to manage your operations in a sustainable way. In the climate change resource management course, we speak a lot about corporate governance and European legislation on due diligence and so on. In all these courses, now, for example, this year in climate change, resource management, and corporate governance, we have an alumni teaching. Emily Proyal is her name, and I think she will continue next year. And she took students also because Corinne was mentioning, I think she did 3 excursions already. One is to the Climate House, which is in Paris, a big yes, a big, let's say, community of people that are creating startups in the field of sustainability. Students met, for example, the founder of Fresque du Climat. No, that's something, an educational initiative that everybody knows in France. We also do it at ESSCA, where students have a project weeks and do project on climate change. Yes, as we are speaking about excursions, so we also do a learning expedition once per year. We have been doing it to Bordeaux in the last 2 years. No, that's where I'm based. Here we have a lot of wineries, also sustainable wineries that we visit. We also have some companies like Cdiscount and other companies that are dealing in the field of sustainability. So that was semester 9. And in semester 10, we have, yes, for resilient and sustainable cities and regions, ecological economics, the ESG impact assessment and reporting course. Maybe I want to highlight, in that last mentioned course, this is shared between one professor, Manos Sfakianakis. He works in the European Commission and total expert in finance, and also a bridge to the European Commission. Some of the students also in the current cohort, many want to be CSR managers, but a few also want to make in policy making. Some students of the current cohort, they aim to a career in the European Commission. By the way, in Paris, there are also, this is Brussels, of course. In Paris, there are other institutions like the OECD headquarters, UNESCO, and other international institutions that are also looking for sustainability profiles. Okay, and another teacher, Enrica Bruna, she is working in the United Nations Principles of Responsible Investment, also an absolute expert on ESG and the related frameworks and standards. Also, we have some great internal professors, Essen Slim, for example. He's responsible for ecological economics, one of the most popular professors among our students. And just to highlight a few, of course, we work in the field of AI. This course is taught by the director of all master programs at ESSCA, Jan Trong, an absolute expert, the best researcher of ESSCA. That's interesting for me because I also doing research for him, and he's also a great teacher. Okay, I will come to the end. Quickly, here the careers we have been spoken about that ESG analysts, ESG reporting, CSR managers, also NGOs, product managers working in government, international organization is what may come out of a master at ESSCA. You have 12 months studies and then 4 to 6 months internship. And yes, the professors are half academics and half professionals. Okay, so that's it mostly from my side. Just be brief to allow Ali to have enough time and also for your questions. Thank you so much for joining us and for listening.
Well, thank you, Professor. So I think I've just briefly talk about a few details, and of course, as the students and attendees also were curious about the application, how it will be, I will of course talk about it. So for most of the parts, I believe our alumni, they talked about school, about their experience, so I will go through the slides faster. So ESCA was founded in 1909. We have international recognition and also, of course, recognition from the French Ministry of Higher Education. And about ranking, the Master Management program was ranked in top 100 programs by Financial Times, but also for the national ranking as well. ESCA is ranked among top schools in France. So just some figures about ESCA. So we have around 7,000 students and a network of 20,000 alumni. That will, of course, some of them, they attended this session today. And we have students from different countries, which provides the international experience for our students. We have 10 campuses. Well, this program, Master of Science in Sustainable Management and Social Impact, is offered in Paris campus, but for other programs and other possibilities are available in different campuses that we have. Talking about the programs, so the Master of Science program is, as Professor mentioned, is the last year of master studies. Well, the typical system is a 3-year bachelor, 2-year master studies, or one program altogether with the programme Grande École. But of course, the student can just join us for the master cycle, for the Master of Science. It's of course possible. And the possibilities for students, the student life. We have different student association that student can join and spend their time on activities they enjoy. Also, alumni network in different countries, different cities, and the support that my colleagues provide for our students. About the employability, ESCA students have high employability, and of course we have partnership with different companies, and sometimes the students find internship or job with partner companies, so it's quite possible. And another fact, as also Professor mentioned, is about the action-oriented approach that we have. Of course, the students will have like the courses from professionals, but also from the academic. So both part are covered, and student will not have only classes on academic topics, because it is important that the student will have information and about the actual projects and difficulties that they may face in their careers. So talking about the master program, we have in general, we have 2 programs. The 2-year master in management program with different specialization that we offer. We also have the master in management and the business engineering, which is dedicated to students who have background in science or engineering. And the master of science program that they are offered on mostly on our Paris campuses, and they are focused on specific topic. Well, today we talked about sustainability, of course, but there are other options for students as well. Regarding the career support, we have different possibilities, different workshops, job teaser, the network of alumni, which was mentioned during this webinar. So all of this are possible. However, it is up to the student to initiate, to start their internship, look for possibilities, look to connect to professionals. But of course, we provide the support for students with different options. You can also find the testimonial of other ESSCA alumni on our website, on our YouTube channel as well. So talking about applying. The student, if they want to join master studies at ESSCA for the 2-year master in management, they need to have a minimum 3 year of bachelor studies and a B2 level of English, because the program are offered in English. And for the students who want to study directly the Master of Science program, they need to have like a 4 year of bachelor studies, for example, a 4-year BBA, for example, or if they are like master students at the moment, they can also apply directly for the Master of Science program. And if they are professionals, they have few years of experience, they can apply with 3-year bachelor studies and minimum 3 years of work experience. So how it will be to apply. So the entire application process is online. You can start an application on our website. We have different requirements, of course. Uh, you can find the list, and after providing this document, you can upload them, submit the application, and after that, my colleagues in the admissions office, they will evaluate the file. If everything was okay, you will be invited to the admission interview. So talking about the scholarship, it is possible to apply for the partial scholarship that we offer to ESSCA students, and it could be up to 20% of the tuition fee for the first year. The other tuition the scholarships are also available. As Corinne mentioned, some of them are offered by the French government. Some of them, of course, are offered by different countries if they support their students to study abroad. So there are different possibilities, but the scholarship that ESSCA offers is up to 20% of the tuition fee. Thank you for listening, and well, I think we'll have time to answer a few questions.
Yes, exactly. That's where I come back in. So we indeed have still some questions we try to answer. Just want to highlight also for the people watching the recording, as I know these days a lot of people do. You can still interact with us, so you can still write questions actually as well. We cannot answer them right now, but we can send them through to the staff of ESSCA. Also, you can participate in the polling. So do by all means give your feedback. We like to see and hear the feedback from everybody. So thanks for that. All right, let's go to the questions. Sophia asked a question, and she wanted to know about the balance between the practical and theoretical content in the program.
Yes, so that's a good question, Sophia. Thank you so much. So I would say roughly 50-50, I would say. Yes, you could also put it in, now 50% of the professors are academics, 50% are professionals. There may also be, yes, some professionals, they may also speak about some theoretical issues, and also we professors, we don't speak only about theory, also some practical thing, but I think I would say 50% is a good, yes, a good fair answer. Maybe to be a bit more concrete, so let's say we do a lot of excursions, we work a lot with companies, other organizations, practitioners. In classes also we do a lot of case study research. We speak about, I don't know, legislation or theory at the beginning, and then we sort of look how is it applied, which are the companies that are doing well in applying sustainability reporting. Yes, in my last class, for example, last week, we looked at the first companies that are already complying with the new sustainability reporting legislation, CSRD, the European one, and we found BMW, the German car maker, Ørsted, a Danish company, and Novo Nordisk, another Danish company, and looked at their sustainability report and looked at So it was quite practical thing to do, and the students, some of them are working for other multinationals, and they have to go back to practice soon and apply this legislation. Also, they were saying, this I want to do also in our materiality analysis. Now, Antoine was speaking about this gap analysis and the materiality analysis. So that's what all firms will have to do. And so the materiality is a double materiality. It means like the financial and environmental impact in one 2x2 matrix. And yes, so the students, they got a good idea what they can take from these reports for their own company, just as an example. So all of us, we are aware of the needs of practice, and that's why we bring it in class. And but also interestingly, many students also say we like, for example, I mentioned my colleague Essen Slim, who speak a lot about theories. Also, they also like that, not to go a bit beyond. So that's also, we are also a university, a business school, and where we also let's say to go sometimes work with theory, which is also enriching. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you as well. Next question from Anne. How much courses are within the program?
How much within the program? If you have my slides, I would say it's like 13 or 14. If I have it on my slides, you also find it. I think it's 7 courses per semester. We have 2 semesters, so it's 14 courses. It's also on my slides, and you find it also on the webpage. If you go to our webpage in programs, you find the courses that will be taught.
Yep, and
thank you for the question.
Actually, regarding the link to the website, I'll put it on the screen. It is also in the links section at the bottom where you see apps. There actually is a link possible there. I'm going to now put it on the screen anyway. Here you go. And if you click on the program overview, you will get to that section and find all the information. So you can still browse it through it at your own pace. Next question we got from Ervis is from Albania, in working in a credit and saving association. I want to know if you can follow it online.
The course. Well, this is a good question. So let's say up to now, our Master of Science in Sustainable Management and Social Impact is a presential master, which has a lot of advantages also. You are getting in contact with the professors, professionals. Also, you work with 25, 30 other students, experts and future experts in sustainability. We had with Antoine the example how also, like, internationally, especially in France, this networking part is also very important. That we help each other. We have a big alumni community, and that is a bit more difficult with online masters. We have other online programs also, that you can check, that you can find out about. But here, this is a presential master. But let me highlight maybe that it is 1 year. So you have to be here now. You have now that. So the presential time is, I would say, well, yeah, we start on the 3rd of September roughly. Then it is September until end of November, early December. Then 15th of January to 15th of April. So these are the class times. So, and then from April, or from early April onwards, you can go to your home country, do your internship there. If you work in a big company, that counts also as an internship. So yes, in the current cohort, we have many students that work in companies, and they have just paused their work for the 6-7 months where they have to be here in presential. So yes, I would love to see you in class in September.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. Question from Anna Beatriz. How is your scholarship policy and the options regarding that?
Well, regarding the partial scholarship, based on the different criteria, my colleagues will decide about awarding this partial scholarship. It could be based on the grade, for example, the motivation, also the outcome of the admission interview. If the students have different projects or different criteria is considered, and if the students receive it, of course they will receive the result in the same day that they receive the result of the admission. So if they are accepted, they know that if they will receive the partial scholarship. But beside that, well, for the famous Eiffel scholarship that Colin also mentioned, unfortunately, the deadline for that one is passed. So at the moment, we can only consider the partial scholarship that ESSCA offers to students.
Okay, thank you. Hope that answered that question. And let's see, we had a last question at this point from Lisa. Is it possible to be accepted with a bachelor's degree from Russian university? And were there any precedents like that?
Well, regarding the application process, it's okay. We have students from different countries, so as long as the study and the degree the university is recognized in their country, it's okay. They can apply for the programs. Just one point for the degrees and documents that is issued in other language than English or French, they need to provide professional the translation. Beside that, it's okay. They can apply from different countries as long as the university that they've studied is recognized by their country. It's okay. We also consider this degrees as well.
Right. Good to hear. Well, thank you very much. I think those were the questions we've received so far. So I hope we answered them. I also know some people joining later. I just want to highlight that we are recording this session. So you can actually, if you missed the beginning, you can stay on and you can simply watch it from the start. It will start within minutes. And yeah, we'll still appreciate your feedback through the polls if you before you have to go. I have one last polling question actually coming up, which I'm going to open up, and that is to see how we did. So there it is over our heads, but thank you for answering that one. Just to let us know how you felt the session was. Give us any feedback, and we hope, of course, to have met your expectations. And having said that, and I see it coming in, it seems we did well, so that's great to see. And last words maybe over to the professor just to wrap up the session.
Yes, thank you so much, Luke. Thank you so much, Ali. Thank you to the alumni, and thanks especially to all of you that have joined us, that have an interest in our master. Yes, so at the end, I just want to tell you that, yes, so I stick with Antoine's word, do something that have an impact, to leave a good mark, a positive mark. That's something also which is shared as a value among ESSCA professors. We have a very nice community, a very nice campus atmosphere. Yes, with our traditions and values that we share, a lot of student associations, so you won't feel lonely, so you will be integrated very well with all your interests and forms of engagement. Studying is important for us, but we have extreme lot of extra curriculum activities. This week, for example, we have a hackathon where you can win €1,000 and a project, presenting a project on sustainability. We participated in Solve Climate, like a climate change event last month. So basically every month there's a highlight. So it is very exciting studying at ESSCA. And yes, so I'm extremely looking forward to see you. I will also share my LinkedIn or my contact in the chat. And yes, so I hope to see you soon. And it was a pleasure to meet you. Thanks to all.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.